Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversations dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man DB. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know when new material come in. IG Elephant Man _ podcast / Elephant Man Podcast for Facebook / Poster Boy for Twitter or X, and hit the Paleo Hebrew in the top right or the bottom right corner for YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. Also, TikTok at Elephant Man 219. Shalom, blessings to everybody. A little bit late coming on, man. Had some stuff going on. Better late than never. This is the day that the Most High has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And you know what? We have to persevere. We have to persevere. We have to push. We have to endure to the end. No matter what goes on, no matter what's going on, we got to persevere, right? John 10:10 says, the enemy come but to steal, kill, and destroy. Yahushua said, I come that you may have life and that more abundantly. In the midst of all of this stuff, Yahushua wants you to have life and that more abundantly. Shout out to Saram Ajanku. And that series is amazing. We got to get you on for a fourth time as far as with the Ewe people, the Ewe language. So in depth, it's so refreshing, connecting us to our roots. It's just so amazing. But in spite of, no matter what's going on, we got to continue to praise the Most High, right? In the midst of, no matter what's going on, we're going to continue to praise the Most High because we were born for such a time as this, right? We could have been born in a lot of different generations, but no, he said we were to be born in this generation right here. So we just thank the Most High for everything that he's doing. Um, we always ask for more of him and less of us, when we do this thing. But sometimes it's not easy, but it's more of him and less of us in everything that we do, everything that we say. Um, I got to get my get it fixed so I can be able to show it directly on the Elephant Man page on Facebook. So it's going to be getting shown directly on the Elephant Man Facebook page. Right now, it's on my main page, my own friends page. But so I'll get that taken care of. I got to figure out what's going on with that. So I'm gonna open up in prayer. We're gonna get into what we get into, which is the transition to power part 4. And it's based off of the statue in Daniel 2. When Nebuchadnezzar had the statue of a man with a head of gold, arms of silver, thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and then the feet is part iron and part clay. That's where we at right now. And then it was a rock that was cut out, not made by hands, and it crushed the whole uh, statue. All of all this at the end of the age, it crushed the whole statue down. So we're gonna talk about. We're just gonna continue to talk about. Right now, we're in the I'm sorry, uh, the iron and the clay phase, the 10 toes phase, right? So I'm gonna open up in prayer first. Abba Yah, in the name of Yahushua, we thank you for your grace. We thank you for your mercy. You said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw men unto me. We lift you up. We honor you. We adore you. We worship you. We thank you in the midst of. We thank you in spite of. Abba Yah, we don't dot every I and cross every T, but we know that you are with us, and we know that you are for us. And if you be for us, who can be against us? If you be for us, who can be against us? So we just thanking you. Abba Yah, you said cast your cares upon you. You said cast your cares upon you because you care for us. And we cast our cares upon you because we know that you care for us, and we know that you got an expected end. You have a plan for us, an expected end. We know that nothing happens without your might, without your power or your permission. Nothing happens without your permission. Nothing throws you off guard. Nothing comes upon you just unaware. Nothing. So we just thank you. We thank you for your ultimate wisdom. Even as us, as we trying to figure it out. We prophesy in part, we preach in part. but you are the same yesterday, today, and forevermore, and you change not. We thank you for your renewed covenant. We thank you for the awakening of Israel worldwide, Abba Yah, and we thank you for all the many blessings you bestowed upon us in Yahushua HaMashiach's name. We pray, Amen. So we just thank the Most High Yah, for everything that He's done, everything that He's doing, and we talking about the end of the ages. But I wanted to just go back to the legs of iron when Rome ruled, and we talked about uh, um, how he's the chief cornerstone, right? Yahushua is the chief cornerstone. He's the rock of offense. So I wanted to just go back to Matthew 2, then Matthew 21, and then Isaiah 9, right? The government, the rule, the authority, the kingdom. He said, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, right? He wants his will to be done in the earth, right? And if we are part of his kingdom or we're followers of the way, he wants his will to be done in this earth, right? Not to be influenced by the culture, but to show the influence of the kingdom onto the culture, right? And we are peculiar people, which means it's not of this world. So when we do and say things, it's supposed to be uh, opposite or not like the things of this world, right? And it's easier said than done because we made the celebrity. We worship the celebrity now. We worship ourselves now, um, and so that's crazy when we do that. So we want to be able to. I'm gonna open up this right quick. We're gonna go right into this. Why is it? I don't remove it. Add it to the stage. There we go. There we go. You ain't new to this. Stay true to this, Brazil. All right. So when Yahushua was on the scene, because so basically in Malachi was the end of the so-called Old Testament, was the last minor prophets in the Old Testament, and Persia was in rule, and then it was like a 400-year quiet period. Not really quiet. There's a lot of things that went on, but it was quiet in the sense that Abba Yah didn't really send any too many prophets in the earth to prophesy and talk. He sent so many different people. He sent kings. He sent judges. He sent prophets, major prophets, minor prophets. The only reason that they're called minor prophets because their book is fairly small, not because what they did was small, minor in stature, right? So he sent all these different things, right? And so for a period he was real quiet. He didn't say anything, but still stuff was going on. And like I said, mentioned 2 shows ago, uh, Greece was in charge, blah, 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 blah. Then Rome overthrew Greece. Now, one thing that was different from Persia to Greece and then eventually Rome was Persia was in charge, but they were allowed to fellowship. The children of Israel was allowed to fellowship, start building their temple again, as you see in Nehemiah and Ezra. They was allowed to do those different things after they came out of the 770 years of Babylonian bondage, and then they was cool. They was allowed to do that. Greece, however, like, nah, you're gonna walk like us, talk like us, think like us, right? Assimilation. Greece and then eventually Rome. So when Rome came into rule, they was like, you're gonna do what the Rome what we do. We're the dominating kingdom, we're the dominating group. You're gonna do what we say. Walk like we walk, talk like we talk. So almost even like today, it's like, look, we gotta assimilate to the culture or be called names. So I'm gonna go right into this. Um, Matthew 2. Rome is in rule. This is the legs part. The legs part, Rome is in rule, and Yahusha is born. Him and his cousin John the Baptist was born during this time. John, Yahusha was from the lineage of um, Judah, right? The tribe of Judah, and John was from the lineage of Levi, right? Because Zechariah was his dad, Zechariah and Elizabeth. John was from the lineage of Levi, and Yahushua was from the lineage of kings, and John, his cousin, was from the lineage of priests, high priests and priests, right? And when he came up on the scene, it was always talked about that there will be a coming king to come and to rule and reign. So when he was born, remember he came the first time as a lamb. He had to be the sacrificial lamb to lay down his life. The second time he come back, he gonna come back as a lion. But I digress. I'm going ahead of myself. So Matthew 2:2, saying, "Where is he?" Okay, Matthew 1. Let's go 1. Now, when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he that is born King of the Brews? For we have seen a star in the east, and are coming to worship him." And Herod the king had heard these things and was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes and the people together, he demanded them where Christ should be born. So he was thinking about, oh man, Herod was like, somebody's going to take over my earthly kingdom, right? I can't be king and they be king, right? And then, thou Bethlehem in the land of Judah art not the least among the prince of Judah. Out, uh, out of thee shall come a governor, they shall rule thy people Israel. Right? Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared, and he sent from uh, them from Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the young child, and when he found him, bring me word that I might come and worship him also." So Herod was like, "Yeah, go find this king, and I'm gonna worship him." But he had other things and plan. And when they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, a star which they saw in the east went before them till he came and stood over where the young child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced and exceedingly great. And when they were come into the house, they saw a young child and Mary his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented him gifts and gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And they, and being warned of Yah in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way. So they was like, the Most High told them, don't go back until Herod, where the Mashiach is. Sorry, I took a sip of water. So he had a flight to Egypt. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Most High appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, "Arise, take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee a word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him." So he got this in a dream. So this is one of the things that we got to do. We got to make sure we got a relationship with the Most High Yah, so we can hear His still small voice. Because everybody that say they are for the Most High and for the King and for the kingdom is not always for the King and for the kingdom. So this is where we got to have discernment at. We got to be able to discern. We got to listen to the still small voice. We got to listen to the Ruach. He talked to them in dreams and visions a lot of the times. But today, when we become born again of the Spirit, and He give us His Ruach Hakodesh, His Spirit, and then He speaks to us through His Spirit, and He speaks to us through His Word. And so, but there's so many different opinions and voices. That's what's mentioned even today. But there's so many different opinions and voices that is contrary to the will of the Most High Yah. And some of it is not all left. Some of it is partial truth and then partial lies. But we got to train ourselves to listen to the still small voice, especially in this hour, because it's some things that's about to come up on the earth. The earth is going to be tested and judged, and those with the spirit of the Ruach, with the Ruach in them, will be able to prosper and be able to navigate and be able to understand. So Joseph heard that dream. Hey, don't go back to you got to go to Egypt, because Herod wants to kill the Mashiach. And they were there until the death of Herod, that it might be fulfilled, which is spoken of the Most High by the prophet, saying, "Out of Egypt I have called my son." And we know that whole area, the Mesopotamia, the whole region of Judea, There was not what the people look like now in occupied Israel. It was not what the before the Arab invasion. They was not looking like how the Prince of Egypt and all these different movies we got out when they pretty much Hollywood whitewashed everything. That whole area was dark, right? Black people, I should say, quote unquote, black people, Hamitic and Semitic people, dark skinned people. So, and that was the whole thing before they whitewashed Yahusha. Say, oh, he's European, he's white. Um, he would have went further into Europe, and to this point, a lot of people make this point that he couldn't if he was a pink baby, he couldn't hide amongst the Egyptians if the Egyptians was a dark skinned and a brown skinned looking people. All right, so we how it is right now is not how it was then. Even in occupied Israel, those people from Russia, they are Khazarian people, and they are not even from that region. Even in Australia, you go to Australia, you go to New Zealand, a lot of those people moved there. They're not from there. Even America, right? There was some darker skinned indigenous people. So it's not now how it was back then. But I digress. All right. Herod slaughters babies. Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise man, was exceedingly wroth, and sent forth to slew all the children that were in Bethlehem and in the coast thereof for 2 years and under, according to the time in which he had diligently inquired the wise men. That had to be a terrible, 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 terrible time. I can only imagine. All the babies 2 years old and under getting killed. All the babies 2 years old and under getting killed. To try to wipe out, to try to snuff out, to try to stop the fulfillment of prophecy of Yahusha coming in the earth. That is crazy. There's been many attempts on Yahusha's life in his whole year, the whole time he was on the earth, and he didn't die until it was appointed. Um, he had to die on the Pesach because in order to be the Passover lamb, but he didn't die an hour or a minute sooner, right? And they had many attempts on his life. They wanted to kill him, right? But they wanted to kill him right before he even got started, before his ministry, and before what he was sent to do was. So they said, kill every child 2 and under. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken of by Jeremiah the prophet, saying, in Ramah there was a voice heard, lamentation, weeping, great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted because they are not. That was that prophecy fulfilled. Yeah, so the Hebrews had it bad. You know what I mean? I even remember, not the sidebar, even when Nat Turner, he went and did what he did, and it was a lot of slave insurrections. But when Nat Turner did what he did, they would just go to different random plantations and take the alpha male, the strongest slave, whoop him down, beat him down, just buck break him, and just to put the fear back into the rest of the slaves, just in case they got wind of what Nat Turner did. They will beat them down. You out there picking cotton or whatever you're doing, tobacco or whatever your duty is, and they just come and get you and whoop you down after the thing that happened with Nat Turner. It's like, what I do? I'm out here trying to do what you told me to do, and I'm getting beat down. And then when the other children, women and children would see the alpha male getting beat, then everybody else will settle down. Everybody else settle down, you know. And so that's interesting. I wanna okay, so let's keep on moving. I don't want to get sidetracked with that. But that's interesting. So they was just like, man, we need to, kill everybody. But when Herod was dead, Matthew 2 and 19, but when Herod was dead, behold, an angel of the Most High appeared in a dream to Joseph in Egypt. And he said, arise and take out your young child and his mother and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life. And he arose and took the young child and his mother and came into the land of Israel. But when he heard Archelaus did reign in Judea in the room of his father Herod, he was afraid to go hither. Notwithstanding being warned of Yah in a dream, he turned aside into the parts of Galilee. And he came and dwelt in the city called Nazareth, that it might be fulfilled, spoken by the prophets, he shall be called a Nazarene. So that's how both of those are being fulfilled. Like, how can both of them be fulfilled when it was talking about him coming upon the earth and he's coming out of Egypt in one prophecy, and another one he will be a Nazarene out of Nazareth. So they was kind of like, man, what's going on with that? But um, a lot of people thought that he was coming to fulfill the latter end of prophecy, right? Because you got to take in consideration they was living out the quote unquote renewed New Testament, right? So they didn't go to the New Testament, so they was reading Torah, they was reading the scriptures, and they was reading of a time coming of a Mashiach, right? So when they said, okay, when his cousin John said, "Behold, the Lamb of Yahweh take away the sins of the world," right? And then the Pharisees and Sadducees and everybody else who was supposed to be in charge spiritually, right? The leaders spiritually, they ain't even know. They were trying to kill him. Like, man, he's shining light in dark places. We got to get rid of this guy, right? We gotta build the case up and get rid of him or kill him. So we got to assassinate his character or assassinate him. But we got to get rid of him so we can get back to normal, right? Because he did a lot of different things. A lot of things was just going on in that time. That's why when he went to kicked over the money changers tables and went to the temple, and he said, "This supposed to be a house of prayer. Y'all made it a den of thieves." And he took a whip and went in there and whipped them up out of there because a lot of crazy stuff was going on, right? Because it wasn't no prophets and stuff. A lot of being vocal and visible in that time, and then a lot of people just assimilated to the culture, assimilated, name change, mind change, heart change. They just assimilated to the culture, and that's even when we came over here on ships, we were assimilated to the culture. They changed our names, right? They split the family up. The dad gonna go to one plantation, mom and the kids can go to another plantation, cousin go to another plantation, right? And change your name up, scramble it all up as Psalms 83, right? Make you a nation, make you not a nation, right? And that ain't gonna take but one or two generations for you to not know who you are, for somebody else to give you who you are, right? And we're born to sin, shape, and iniquity. We don't know who we are, and even in those middle school years, for those who remember in middle school years, you're going from being a young person into being an adult. You know what I'm saying? High school. So you're in that middle. So you don't know who you are, right? We have this identity. We don't know who we are. So then we have people give us an identity other than a child of the Most High Yah or a Hebrew or, you know what I mean? So we start having self-fulfilling prophecies. We shrink down. We don't know that we're made in the image and likeness of Yah with a purpose and a destiny on our life. So we let, oh man, I'm a gent, I'm a pimp, I'm a thug, I'm a goon, I'm a killer, I'm a whatever, everything but a child of the Most High Yah, right? I'm a child of the Most High Yah, I'm an ambassador of the kingdom. But that don't sound too fly, right? I'm a lot of us from the tribe of Israel, right? Benjamin or Judah, right? And it's very, very interesting. We don't know who we are. If we knew who we were, and I know a lot of people will say, your identity is in Christ, and it is. And I'm not, but for us to know who we are in the natural, and then to know who we are in the spiritual, it's very powerful because he didn't do away with Israel. A lot of days, a lot of times, the modern church is taught that replacement theology and the church, but dominantly Gentile churches replace Israel. But that's another show on a different day. We don't want to get into that. So, triumphant entry. I'm gonna share this tab. Matthew 21. We're gonna share two more tabs. I'm gonna look at the comments and we're gonna get out of here. But that's what it is. It's always about rulership. Who's gonna rule? Even if you think about the red and the blue things that goes on. We want a majority of red in the House. We want a majority of blue in the Senate. We want a blue person sitting as president. We want a red person sitting as president. When I say blue and red, I'm just talking about Democrat, Republican, um, because whoever they want to reign and rule and be over or have one up on the other person, right? And if you got all of one, then you can control. You can have laws passed. You can have majority rule, and it's all about ruling and reigning. And I think even that's why the Ten-Toe Kingdom is part iron and part clay, because we said iron was uh, Roman, right? So the part iron, I believe that's the Roman thought and the assimilation, and the part clay um, is a different nation, but they're not together. They're not tough. They're not tight. They're not together, right? They ruling, but they not really together like that. They hate each other, right? They ain't really trying to be with each other like that. So Matthew 21, and when he drew nigh into Jerusalem and were coming to Bethpage and to the Mount of Olives, he then sent Yahushua two disciples, saying to them, "Go into the village over against you, and straightway ye shall find a donkey tied, and a colt with her. Loose them, bring them to me. And if any man say aught unto you, ye shall say, The Most High have need of them, and straightway he will send them." And all this was done that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken of by the prophet, saying, "Tell ye the daughter of Zion, Behold, the king cometh, behold, unto thee meek and sitting upon an ass, and a colt, and a foal of an ass." And disciples went and did as Yahushua commanded them, and brought the ass and the colt, and put on them their clothes, and they set him thereon. So they went and they got this donkey, and they said, Go get a donkey. When you see it tied up, bring it. And they sat him on there. And the multitudes went before, and they followed, crying, saying, "Hosanna, Son of David, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Most High." Right? Baruch haba Bashem Yahweh. Uh, Hosanna in the highest. Now you got to understand, the folk in that day, the leaders and the rulers, it was like, man, what's going on? He not the king. Caesar the king, right? We got king. We got rulership going on. But he was straightening out things, right? He operated out of all five folds of the ministry. That's why when there was a quiet period before he came on the scene, he come of age, he come up on the scene. He demonstrated all the fivefold, and he was a priest at the order of Melchizedek, which means he had no beginning or end, and he was king and priest, Judah and Levi. So he was the high priest as well as the king. So all these different things are coming to pass, and they like, wow, they really praising this guy, right? And when he was coming to Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, "Who is this?" That's very funny. Verse 10, "Who is this?" And the multitude said, "This is Yahusha, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee." Right? So he was operating out of the prophetic, right? And and he healed the sick, raised the dead, cast out devils. I mean, just set captives free. He was doing he had power and demonstration and authority, right? Now just think, if you're a Pharisee, Sadducee, those who are in charge of the quote unquote religious system in that day, you got the gift of gab, but you ain't got no power like that. And then Yahushua come up on the scene showing might, authority, power, right? Even the winds and the waves obey him, right? Uh uh Demons scared when he come up on the scene. What have thou to do with us, O Yahushua HaMashiach? And he's telling them to be quiet and come out of them. And then it said the person that was so crazy and possessed was clothed in their right mind, laying at the feet of Yahushua, right? So he was doing all these different things. That's a bad look on the gift of gab, folk, right? That's a bad look. Like, man, we in charge of the religious system, man. We in charge. right? Herod got the kingdom, and we got the religious part of it. And he was a threat to both of them. He was a threat because he was king and priest. So he was a threat to the kingdom of that time, and he was a threat to the quote unquote priests or the religious system at that time. So both of them really wanted to do away with him. Like, man, this guy got to go. You know what I'm saying? Because he making us look bad, right? And they try to catch him up, but they had to be marveling too. That's why they had to come and say, you know what? How he doing all these miracles and stuff? Well, he doing them out of Beelzebub. He doing all that out of Beelzebub. He got a devil, right? They had to come up. They had to figure out a reason. Like, man, he doing all kind of stuff. He running circles around us, man. He running circles around us. I think this is the story right here when it said, "Oh yeah, let's go right into this. Let's read this one while we right here. Cleansing the temple, Matthew 21:12. Then we got one more verse, which is Isaiah 9. Then we're gonna get out of here. And Yahusha went into the temple of Yah and cast them out that sold and bought in the temple and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seat of them that sold doves and said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called a house of prayer. Ye have made it a den of thieves. And the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. What? So the religious order before then, they were just taking offering and being in control. They had no power. But it says right here in Matthew 21:14, the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. And when the chief priests and scribes saw the wonderful things that he had done, the children crying in the temple, saying, Hosanna, the son of David, they were sore displeased. They was mad than a mug. Like, this not it right here. And said unto him, Here's what thou sayest. And Yahusha said unto them, Yea, have ye ever read out of the mouth of babes and suckling, thou hast perfected praise? And they left him and went out of the city of Bethany, and he lodged there. Yeah, so he was doing many different things. But then even when they bought in, the town bought in, they was like, Are you gonna go and overthrow her, um, Pontius Pilate and all of them guys, Caesar and all of them? And he said, My kingdom is not of this world. My kingdom is not of this world. He kept saying that. He said, My kingdom is not of this world. Right? He said, If my kingdom was of this world, I have 12 legions of angels at my disposal to tear this whole place up. Right? So even when he was on the cross, when he was, when he was crucified and stuff like that, he could have called the legion of angels to come down and tear up the whole Roman army. But he said, if I don't die, you don't live. I have to lay down my life. He said, no one take my life. I lay it down. I lay down my life so you can live. If I don't die, you don't live. In a nutshell. If I don't die, you don't live. So I'm going to read this Isaiah 9, and then we're going to get on up out of here. But I think that's very, very interesting. Because even when he was like, they killed him, and well, they didn't kill him. He laid down his life. Then he rose. Then it was kind of like he showed himself to over 400 people, and he showed himself to his people first because it's like almost like the end of a movement. If you think about it, you have Fred Hampton, Malcolm X, MLK, whoever. A lot of times the leader of those different movements, when the leader die, don't nobody really step up. It'd be like the end of an era, end of a movement. So they see from afar off what happened, what the Roman militia did to him in public. Right? It was a public display. Don't nobody follow him. So their affection changed real quick from Hosanna and we following you and this, that, and other. When they seen what they did to him, they're like, oh, I ain't got no, I don't even know him. I ain't got nothing to do with him because I don't want to get done like that, right? So they said we about to go back to basics, right? Um, priests, scribes and Pharisees, y'all can be in control, and Roman Empire, y'all can be the kings. We good because we don't want no part of what happened. And that's why they would do that stuff in the public, right? And in front of everybody to bring fear. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh no, I'm good with that. But this is a scripture too, saying Isaiah 9. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given. The government shall rest upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty Yah, Everlasting Abba, the Sar Shalom, or the Prince of Peace. An increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David, upon the kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice from hence even forever. The zeal of the Most High host will perform this. So that's like forever, like forever. So they thought that he was coming to do. They thought he was coming to set up that kingdom. So everybody was tripping. So the people, they read the Torah. They come together on Shabbat, read Isaiah and all these different books, Jeremiah, and all these different prophecies and different things like that. They read it, right? So they thinking, okay, you gonna overthrow Rome? What was his answer? My kingdom is not of this world. It's not time. I, it's a dispensation of me being a lamb. I have to be a lamb, but uh, I'm establish y'all in a minute. Y'all gonna do what I do. I'm gonna lead by example. I ain't gonna have y'all do nothing that y'all ain't seen me do. Everything y'all see me do, y'all can do. Come follow me. Follow me. All right. So they was and then the devils was like, oh, you coming? Is it time? No, it ain't time, but you gonna come up out of him. What's your name? Legion. We are many. It was so full of spirits. It was so many. It was so full of. This guy was so full of spirits. It said Legion, for we are many. No, it ain't time for your the end of you. But we gonna shake it up. Come out. Feel me? And then so everybody was kind of like, well, man. Then so when he died, they was like, oh, that must not have been him. Yeah, he fed people 5 loaves, 2 fishes, healed the sick, healed the sick, raised the dead, cast out devils. He did all of this different stuff, and now they got him. They bound him up. They did him bad. They hit him across the back. 39 saved one. Smashed a crown of thorns on his head. Mocked him. Scoffed him. Beat him until he's unrecognizable. Right. Cast lots for his clothes. We see pictures. He up there with a little cloth. They had him up there opening the shame naked. He ain't had no cloth on. He ain't put no cloth on up there. That's humiliation. Like, look, we Romans. We gon' you finna be humiliated. That's why they was like, man, we heard of you healing the sick, raising the dead, casting out devils. If you be the Mashiach, like you said, if you be the Mashiach, save yourself. Save yourself. Come down. Show, prove it. He said he was like a sheep led to the slaughter. He didn't say a word. He didn't have to prove who he was because he knew who he was. I'm gonna say that again. He didn't have to prove who he was because he knew who he was. And I'm asking all you on the playback and in the chat, you have to know who you are in Yahusha. The enemy don't like us to meet and gather like this and have these different talks. You got to know who you are and whose you are and who he is. You got to know who you are in Yahusha. And he will always try to come to challenge who you are in Yahusha. If he challenged him, you know he gonna challenge us. You know he gonna challenge us on the daily, every day, all day. Praise Yah, praise Yah. So, we gonna get up out of here, but it's his timing. It's his timing, right? It's a time and place for everything, how he do things. So when we listen to the still small voice, we have we practice the presence of Yah. And it's not mysterious. You just walk with him, talk with him, have a relationship with him, and then listen. We listen for his still small voice because we're still creatures of choice. You feel me? You know, we even though we come into the kingdom, we still creatures of choice. So we got to die daily to our own desires to follow Him. We have to die daily to follow Him, and it's easier said than done. I'm not saying I'm sitting on here, Elephant Man Podcast, mastered that. No sir. Cause it'd be some things I'd be like, man, that'll be a lick right there. That'll be it ain't nothing heinous or nothing, but I'd be like, man, that might work. And then the most high, no, you're gonna waste time and money doing that one. I wouldn't do that one. Yes, sir. Yes, Abba. I, I have to get to that point and not revisit it and not man, that would have been a come up. No. Because he knows best. He knows best. Abba knows best. Father knows best for real. So to be like, yo, he lead us and guide us. He will lead us and guide us. And that's what we need to not be tossed by every wind of doctrine to and fro. As he restores Israel, he gonna restore us. He gonna lead us and guide us in this end time, right? Folk, all kind of stuff. What is he telling you? Where is he telling you to go? Right? If he's saying stand still, right? And we be like, man, it's terrible. You see the chemtrails above and stuff they putting in the water beneath. But if he say stand still, stand still. If he say grab your bag and roll about, go on back to the continent, then that's what we do. But we know by time because we listen to the still small voice, right? We listen to the still small voice, and we grow up in the things of the Most High Yah. So let's see what's yeah the still small voice. Absolutely, absolutely. And our flesh sometimes want to rise up over the still small voice because it's something that we want. Like sometimes it's something I already want. I already got my mind. I'm just being transparent with y'all. Can I be transparent with y'all? I already have in my mind how I want it done, what I want done. So I go to him with my stuff. I need this, I need that, right? And I ain't giving them no chance to talk, giving them no chance, not listening. But I'm just it's diet monologue, one way, not dialogue, back and forth. You're not listening to me. But we get up too quick. We listen to them. I mean, we give our petition, and we don't listen. Okay, what is the outcome? What is your answer, Abba, concerning this? We just pray and then we just get up and that's it. No, no. We need what is it? What is the next move? What is the next step? Because he's in the past, present, and future at the same time. That's why nothing throws him off. Nothing throws him off guard, right? You ever been somewhere and around the 4th of July and one of them half stick of dynamite to them M80s go boom, your whole shoulders go up if it's close enough. You're like, oh snap! You were startled by that because you didn't know that was going to come, but not him. Abba knew that was going to come, and the millisecond it was going to blow up. So nothing happens without his hand or permission, and nothing throws him off guard, right? And he's batting 1,000, which means he knows exactly what's going on. So we need to check in with him, right? Check in with the Ruach, right? And then he written down a lot of stuff in prophecy. He wrote down a lot of the stuff. So praise Yah. Blessings to everybody. Um, Jason Camp 4, Shalom. Dale J, blessings to you always, my brother. Blessings. You love Yah. Salama. Salama Yasharah. Blessings to you. Blessings to you. Um, so we think a 78 vet said, hey, family, I finally caught a live. So it's every Sunday, Yatarian Spare Life is every Sunday from 6 p.m. Central. All right. And man, I'm still glad about the playbacks and stuff like that. We're gonna be doing some other stuff. I wanted to get 2 nights. I wanted to do Sundays and Thursdays, but I got to figure that out. Um, so praise Yah. Yeah, yeah. So we just thanking the Most High Yah for all the many blessings He bestowed upon Nayah's truth. Blessings to you. Shalom. Shalom. Blessings to you. Salama. Yeah, so yeah, we gonna close it. We're gonna wrap it up for the day. Um, and we are going to continue on with this. I got to do a little bit more digging and stuff like that. For this last is Tento Kingdom because a lot of different regions. Some people think that's the European Union because it's 10 and different things like that. Or so there is this end time and end system going on. So we just thank the Most High Yah for that. Thank the Most High for everything that He's doing, everything that He's done. And check out that shout out to Elder Ron and Truth Unedited, the series, new series he got, very very cool. Shout out to Elder Ron, shout out to Karis, shout out to We Woke Now, Pastor Kelly, shout out to Sister E, shout out to Shonda at Large. She been having brother Ron Dalton on there and Lorvins. Shout out to her. Shout out to Teo. Shout out to Dante Fortson. If you ain't got a copy of that uh, encyclopedia, go grab a copy. I got a hard copy. The Mother Code. So I'm reading it like a book. I ain't using it like I'm reading it like a book. I gotta get back to it. So shout out to them. Shout out to Elder Rob Sanders. Shout out to Elder Bishop Blakely and his wife. Shout out to my brother. God, man, getting stuck. Shout out to Elise Lamont, my mom. Shout out to my wife Ladonna. I hate doing this now because if I miss somebody, they're gonna be tripping. Also, shout out to Pope, my brother Pope. Blessings to you, brother. Keep your head up. We love you. Just shout out to Deacon Wine, Elder Adams, Mother Blakely. Um, Man, I can go on and on and on and on and on. Shout out to my sons. We can keep on going on and on. So anyway, we just thank the Most High Yah for everything that He's done, everything that He's doing, and we just thank the Most High Yah for everything. Don P. Yehuda, blessings to Don P. Salama, blessings to Don P. Oh, Ron Shields, yeah, of course, Ron Shields. KHM, most definitely Ron Shields. But I was talking about Ron from Truth Unedited. He's gonna be in Dallas in November. I want to grab a ticket and go down there because they're having an end time event and it's free. I'll get more information on that. Um, that should be kind of cool. Yeah, Shalom, Don P. Yehuda. Oh, November. Yep, in November. Yep. Probably sold out, man. But I know he doing ministry full time because they better do them cartoons and them scriptures and all. Man, I be like, man, you did all that in a week. I'm like, this dude is a scholar's of scholar, man. But we need that. So we thank the Most High Yah for all those ministers and ministries that put in work to try to keep us on point. So yeah, I'm gonna get on up out of here and yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, share. Elephant Man Podcast, Grown Man Conversation, deal with elephants in the room. I am out.